My research focuses on a lot of technology and how governments and nonprofits use technology to engage citizens, and I just couldn't figure out why aren't we doing that in the classroom? So what ways could I be able to use technology to help my students understand a lot of the concepts that I'm trying to get across to them? Oh, I guess now it's been about 6 or 7 years. So before we had a lot of the technology that really enhanced the flipped classroom. I was trying to do it kind of in a scattershot approach and using a lot of different softwares. And now it's much easier and far more streamlined here at UNF. I use the flip model technique for some of my classrooms. My intro classes at the graduate level for the program, we prefer to do those face-to-face, but I use a lot of online technology to enhance the course itself. Other courses are done with the flipped class approach. Mainly watch the lectures, engage in some discussion board posts. There are videos for them to watch. There are some blog posts for them to read. And I'm really hoping that they come in ready to discuss everything that they have learned in the online portion. I am able to check the students' learning in the flipped classroom by using rubrics, specifically when it comes to the discussion board posts that they have to engage in. And the other way is through class participation, so I can see what they've learned through their discussions and their work with the other students in the class when we meet face to face. In class, I am a big proponent of case studies. So I want to teach them the theoretical aspects and the models online, and they learn that from the lectures, the readings, and the videos. But when we're in class, I really want them to apply what they've learned. So they all have to show up to class having read the case study, and then I break them out into groups, and they dig into different aspects of the case study to apply what they had just learned. Some of the biggest challenges in switching to a flipped model, I think part of it was just learning the technology and trying to get better with that. So learning video editing. I knew video editing long time ago, and the software's gotten far better. So that was a challenge on my end. Then also figuring out what best meets the students' needs online versus face-to-face. So what is the best tool to relay the information that I'm trying to get across to them? On the student side, they also have some challenges. In my undergraduate classes, they can tend to forget to watch the lectures prior to class to apply the material to the case study. So you need to be able to insert some quizzes or something that's point related to the online portion to make sure that they do complete that prior to class, so your class time, your face-to-face time, can be most productive. Some of the biggest benefits are the multiple tools that I get to use in these courses. So I can, if I'm in the classroom with them, watching the videos and just doing the lecture seems kind of wasting their time, and I don't want to waste their time. I mainly teach graduate students, and time is very precious. I get to see them once a week. And in that time they're with me, I really want them engaging in the material. So they want them to come in already ready to discuss instead of having to get all the discussion information down and then apply it in the second part of the classroom. So one of the biggest benefits is just the best utilization of the time that we have face-to-face. A flipped class model is great, but you want to make sure that you're using in the right classroom. So it might not work for all classes, just like face-to-face doesn't work best for all classes and all online doesn't work best for all classes. So you really need to look at what your goals are for the class and then figure out what is the best way or the best medium to get that information to each individual student. Flipped classes really do work well. I know in my experience, the students prefer that model. They find face-to-face a lot. And they don't really need to be there for the lectures when they can show up. But they find distance learning when the classes are all online too distant. They don't get to know the professor. They also don't get to know their fellow students. And so this way, checking in every once on a periodic basis keeps them involved and keeps them motivated in the topic, and keeps me motivated in the topic. They don't need to listen to me do all those lectures. I don't want to have to speak all the time. I want them engaged, and the flip model really is a wonderful model for that.